Former President Trump's recent suggestion has ignited a firestorm of controversy. He proposed that Egypt and Jordan should absorb displaced Palestinians from Gaza. This idea, floated as a solution to the ongoing crisis, has been met with fierce resistance. Egypt and Jordan, key players in the region, have categorically rejected the proposal. The Arab public has also voiced its strong disapproval. Many see it as a blatant attempt to dismantle the Palestinian cause. The proposal, laden with political and economic implications, has been widely condemned. It has further complicated an already volatile situation in the Middle East. The potential influx of displaced Palestinians would place an immense burden on Egypt and Jordan. Both countries are already grappling with their own set of economic and social challenges. Their infrastructure, already strained, would struggle to cope with a sudden surge in population. Housing, healthcare, and education systems would be put under severe stress. The labor market would also feel the pressure, with unemployment rates potentially rising. This is due to the increased competition for jobs and resources. The financial burden of accommodating a large refugee population would be significant. Both Egypt and Jordan would likely face increased public spending to provide for basic needs. This could lead to a widening of budget deficits and further strain on their economies. The instability caused by such a proposal has the potential to send shockwaves through the global economy. The Middle East plays a pivotal role in global energy markets. Any unrest in the region could disrupt oil production and transportation, leading to higher oil prices. This would have a cascading effect on the global economy. Businesses would face higher production and transportation costs, ultimately driving up prices for consumers. The financial markets are also highly sensitive to geopolitical risks. The uncertainty generated by the proposal could erode investor confidence. This could lead to market volatility and a flight to safe haven assets like gold. Emerging market currencies, including those of Egypt and Jordan, could weaken against the US dollar. This would make imports more expensive, further fueling inflation. The proposal disregards the legal and historical rights of the Palestinian people. International law clearly prohibits the forced displacement of people from their land. The Palestinian right to their homeland is not a bargaining chip to be used in political negotiations. The internationally recognized solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is the establishment of an independent Palestinian state alongside Israel. This two-state solution, endorsed by the United Nations and the international community, is the only viable path to a just and lasting peace. The forced resettlement of Palestinians would be a violation of their fundamental human rights and would further complicate the search for a peaceful resolution. The international community must prioritize diplomatic solutions that uphold the rights of all parties involved. Instead of entertaining proposals that exacerbate tensions, the focus should be on reviving meaningful negotiations between Israelis and Palestinians. These negotiations must be grounded in international law and a commitment to a two-state solution. The international community has a responsibility to pressure both sides to engage in good faith negotiations. Economic and political support should be contingent on concrete steps towards peace. Unilateral actions that prejudge the outcome of negotiations or undermine the prospects for a two-state solution must be avoided. The alternative is a perpetuation of the cycle of violence and instability, with dire consequences for the region and the world. The potential consequences of ignoring the Palestinian right to self-determination are far-reaching. The Middle East is a powder keg of geopolitical tensions, and the Palestinian issue remains a major flashpoint. Failure to address the legitimate aspirations of the Palestinian people could lead to further radicalization and violence. This would have devastating humanitarian consequences and could spill over into neighboring countries, further destabilizing the region. The international community cannot afford to stand idly by while the situation deteriorates. The pursuit of peace and justice in the Middle East is not just a moral imperative but also a strategic necessity. The Palestinian people have endured decades of occupation and displacement. They have the same right to freedom, self-determination, and a life of dignity as any other people on earth. Their rights are not negotiable, and their voices must be heard. Ignoring their plight will not make the problem go away. It will only exacerbate existing tensions and make a peaceful resolution more elusive. The international community must recognize that there can be no peace without justice. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is not just a regional issue, it has global implications. It fuels extremism and terrorism, undermines global security, and hampers economic development. The world has a vested interest in seeing a just and lasting peace in the Middle East. This requires a fundamental shift in approach, one that prioritizes diplomacy, dialogue, and respect for international law. The time for empty rhetoric and unilateral actions is over. The international community must act decisively and in unison to create the conditions for a just and sustainable peace. The only way forward is through a negotiated settlement that guarantees the security and well-being of both Israelis and Palestinians. This requires compromise and empathy from both sides. It also requires the international community to act as an honest broker, facilitating dialogue, providing economic assistance, and holding both sides accountable for their actions. The alternative is a bleak future of perpetual conflict, instability, and human suffering. The time to choose peace is now.